we are joined by Florida Governor Charlie Crist. Governor, we were out on this beach yesterday, and there were a lot of people just staring at the water in mourning. There were some people, though, who were actually playing in the water. Should people be concerned about toxicity? Should they be concerned about what's in that water that might be harmful to them?
Well, we're always concerned, and here that's why we continuously test, is just to make sure that it is safe for the people to go in there. Our first obligation is the health, safety, and welfare of our people. It is safe. There isn't a toxic nature to it that is detrimental to anybody. It's much more of a nuisance than it is anything else at this point, but it is safe.
The response has been interesting as we go up and down the coast. And there's one feeling is people are saying, well, we're glad you're here telling the story, but don't tell everybody our beaches are covered with oil, because that's not exactly the reality. Although I'm not sure if I was walking around with tar balls on my feet, I'd be wanting to swim in that stuff. Have you gone for a swim yet?
I have. As a matter of fact, I've been here all weekend with the First Lady, and really the beaches have been beautiful this weekend. I mean, that is a little bit of a frustration that we experience. Sometimes you're doing an interview like this, and then there's like next to you on the screen a picture of a bunch of sludge. As you can see this morning, our beach is beautiful.
What is your biggest frustration right now in terms of, here we are, it's day 70, it's finally reached here a week ago, it's starting to reach over into Destin. What are your state scientist models telling you about how far this is going to go and how bad it's going to get?
Well, we're not sure is the true answer. The frustrations I have are, number one, I can't believe that BP would allow this to happen in the first place. Number two, I'm frustrated with the response. We need to get a quicker response, more skimmers. That's starting to improve, frankly, but we've got to stay on it and make sure we get the skimmers and all the equipment, heavy equipment that we need, and that's happening. And then the claims process. You know, I'm not a scientist. I don't know how to plug the hole out there, but we have an obligation to make the people whole and these small businesses.
Yeah, that's being taken over by this appointed federal mediator. He says it's going to be another 30 days before he's really up to speed. Are the merchants along here who are really, I mean, as we've been hearing, they're getting like a dime on the dollar for every claim they make. Will they be able to hang on long enough until the claims actually come in?
Well, we certainly all hope so, and that's what our effort is centered on. I'm going to be meeting with Mr. Feinberg, Ken Feinberg, later this week to try to accelerate that process. That $20 billion is a nice number, but we've got to put it into action. That's what the people need.
How long can you survive as long as this oil is still continuing to just blow out of that hole the way it's coming out?
Well, it's a devastating, catastrophic event. I think everybody agrees with that. We need to get the thing stopped. We need to get it plugged. We need to stop offshore oil drilling in Florida. I'd like to, frankly, have a special session to ban it here in the Sunshine State. You know, we're so dependent on tourism for our economy. It's very important that we keep it clean.
All right, Governor Crist, we thank you for your time this morning. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
A lot happens early on The Early Show, weekday mornings on CBS.